Hello children, we are going to start the first chapter of Vistas, the third level. It is written by Jack Finney. Before we start reading the story, let me ask you the question which is given here in the book itself. Have you ever had any curious experience which others find hard to believe? Just I want all of you to reflect over this particular question. Have you ever had any curious experience, very interesting experience, kind of unique experience? Probably others are not ready to believe. Now let us go to this story wherein the narrator comes across something very interesting which others are not ready to believe. Probably they all feel that he is imagining about all that. So shall we start the story? So let's start the story. The presidents of the New York Central and the New York, New Haven and Hartford railroads will swear on a stack of timetables that there are only two. What is he talking about? He is saying that there are only two levels. If you go to any railway station, you'll find there one level on the ground and another one subway or underground. There are only two levels. Now in the case of metro trains, sometimes you'll find subways. That is the second level. And the first level is on the ground. But I say there are three because I have been on the third level of the Grand Central Station. The narrator says that he has gone below the subway and there he came across the third level. And he is quite sure. He says if you ask anybody from the railway sector or railway department, they will tell you that there are only two levels. But I am quite sure that I have been to the third level. Now first of all we have to understand what does the third level refer to. Remember, when you go to a railway station, when you get into the train, you are there on the platform. That is what is the first level. Sometimes we'll find the rail lines underground, subways. Now that is the second level. Now, like you'll find some of the metro stations underground. That is the second level. Now what about the third level? Third level is below that level. And here he says not only two levels but there is a third level. Yes, I have taken the obvious step. I talked to a psychiatrist friend of mine among others. Now when others are not ready to believe, then what he has done? He has consulted a psychiatrist. But this psychiatrist happens to be his friend. And he has consulted not only his psychiatrist friend, but he has consulted many others. Who is the narrator? It's a Charlie. Whom did he consult? He consulted a psychiatrist friend. Who is this psychiatrist friend? He is Sam. So we are introduced to two characters. One is Charlie and second character is of Sam. I told him about the third level at Grand Central Station. When he conveyed to his friend, then he said it was a waking dream wish fulfillment. What is a waking dream? He says you are daydreaming. When you are awake, when you start dreaming, and it is out of your wish which you are trying to fulfill, which you are trying to satisfy. You have got a wish, you have got a desire to fulfill that desire, and actually what you are doing is you are dreaming about it. It's a daydreaming what you are doing. You are there in waking state. So when you are woken up, when you are awake, when you start daydreaming, you are trying to fulfill your wish. And he called it as a waking dream wish fulfillment. I hope you understood. Now who says like this? It's a psychiatrist friend of Charlie. He said, I was unhappy. Since he was unhappy, he was trying to escape from the reality. And he was trying to daydream. And what was it doing? He was trying to fulfill his wish. And what is it the talk about? The talk is about third level. That made my wife kind of mad. But he explained that he meant the modern world is full of insecurity, fear, war, worry, and all the rest of it, and that I just want to escape. When Charlie's wife heard about the third level, she felt about him that it was really not worth believing. So it's kind of madness. But Sam, the psychiatrist friend, explained. He tried to convince Charlie's wife that it is due to the insecurity feeling. It is due to the feelings of fear. It is due to the war and the worries. It is all due to the insecurity feeling that we have got, and it's a result of modern world, and that is why he is trying to escape from the reality. And it is only an escape from reality. So the third level doesn't exist. The psychiatrist friend also says that he is trying to daydream. He is trying to fulfill his desire, and therefore Charlie's wife feels kind of madness. Well, who doesn't? Everybody I know wants to escape. Actually, everybody wants to escape from the kind of predicament they are in. It is due to the feelings of insecurity of the modern life that we are not able to face the challenges of modern life. We want to get rid of all that. And that's why we enter into the imaginative world. We try to escape from the reality. But they don't wander down into any third level at Grand Central Station. It is the case with everybody. Everybody wants to escape from this reality. Everybody is facing these problems. Everybody is in dilemma. Everybody is facing this predicament. But they don't wander. They don't keep on coming across these kind of third level, which Charlie has come across at Grand Central Station. But that's the reason, he said, and my friends all agreed. And he said the reason, and it was believed by all his friends, that he was daydreaming about it. Everything points to it, they claim. And whatever you have been talking about, everything is pointing to that only, that you are trying to escape from reality. My stamp collecting, for example, that's a temporary refuge from reality for the time being. For short period, you are trying to shelter from reality. What you are trying? You are getting into the world of stamp collection, and then you enter into that world. When you go to the stamp, probably the earlier period, which was a peaceful period, well, maybe, but my grandfather didn't need any refuge from reality. So the times of grandparents, those were the time which were quite peaceful. People were quite peaceful and tranquil. Things were pretty nice and peaceful by then. But the times have changed now. Now lot of insecurity, lot of fear, that is what is there, and everybody is trying to escape from that. Now he goes back to his grandparents' days and he talks about those days. And he says that right from those days there's been collection. And it has been a nice collection. Probably his grandparents have started the collection of stamps. His hobby is stamp collection. So it's a philately. So he has a hobby of collecting stamps. Blocks of 4 of practically every US issue. Then there are first day covers too, and so on. So many other things. Probably he has got the collection of coins too. And he talks about President Roosevelt, who also collected stamps too. So he also had the hobby of stamp collection. That's a hobby of philately. Anyway, here's what happened at Grand Central. Now he narrates what has happened at Grand Central Railway Station. One night last summer, I worked late at the office. So he was working very late in the office and I was in a hurry to get uptown to my apartment. So I decided to take the subway from Grand Central because it's faster than the bus. So what happens when he was in hurry? He went to the subway. And when he has gone to the subway, there what has happened? There suddenly he has come across this third level. Now I don't know why this should have happened to me. I'm just an ordinary guy named Charlie, 31 years old. So here, now the narrator is introduced to us. He says, I'm an ordinary person, but why such kind of extraordinary thing should happen to me? Something unique, something strange coming across third level. I was wearing a tan gabardine suit and a straw hat with a fancy band. So he talks about what he was wearing. I passed a dozen men who looked just like me. Now he's talking about the third level. And I wasn't trying to escape from anything. I just wanted to get home to Louisa, my wife. He wanted to get home. He was in a hurry. And suddenly there, he comes across the third level. So, who is the narrator here? Charlie. And here now, he reveals his name. What was the hobby he was having? It's a philately. It's a collection of stamps. What does he come across? He comes across the third level. He had gone to the subway from the Grand Central because it is faster than the bus. So he wanted to go by metro train. First he goes down the steps of the first level, then he walks down to the second level where he can catch the suburban train. I turned into Grand Central from Vanderbilt Avenue and went down the steps to the first level, where you take trains like the 20th century. So you can take the trains to anywhere, maybe to another metropolitan city, maybe from Mumbai to Bombay, Mumbai to Delhi, Mumbai to Chennai. Then walk down another flight to the second level. So now he's revealing to us where he has gone in, where the suburban trains leave from. So he has gone to that second level where the suburban train, that is within the town, the trains go. And there he has ducked into, he has bent down. So he has come across there an arched doorway heading for the subway. So suddenly he has come across an arched doorway, arched. which is just like an arch. So here probably he goes back to those days, maybe 50 years ago, and got lost. Suddenly he lost himself. That's easy to do. I have been in and out of Grand Central hundreds of times. So here he says, I have been many times to that Grand Central station, but he has never lost the way this way. But I am always bumping into new doorways. I am always coming across new doorways, new stairs, and corridors. But he has never come across the third level. But this time he has come across the third level. Once I got into a tunnel about a mile long and came out in the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel. So here it talks not only the third level. One day I happened to get into the tunnel. It was quite long. I remember in old days there used to be people used to go into tunnel and come out somewhere else. Another time I came up in an office building on 46th Street, 3 blocks away. So now we are moving into the fantasy, imaginative flight of the narrator. So from the reality, from the modern days, the time is traveling back. We are moving into the past. We are going back into the past, maybe 1 or 2 generations past. Sometimes I think Grand Central is growing like a tree. So how the tree grows, pushing out new corridors, staircases like roots, how the roots move, how the roots will be so complex. Similarly, your Grand Central appears to be quite complex and it's growing like a tree. New corridors, you see so many corridors there, so many staircases there. And here the writer takes into a fantastic world of his. And not only the narrator is lost, not only the writer is lost, we also find ourselves somewhere lost as we go on reading the story. Thank you.